G'day all. I thought we'd do a video on mixing two-stroke fuel, and there's a few on YouTube and everyone's got their own opinion, so I'm going to show you what I do. Now, I'm mixing fuel today for chainsaws. I like to run my chainsaws at 45 to 1. Most modern manufacturers will run their chainsaws at 50 to 1. And I just believe that a little bit of extra oil on a saw, on an engine that's stressed for long periods of time, full throttle, and when it's pushing into the wood, just wants a little bit more oil. So one thing you need to understand is when you bring your oil ratio, or if your chainsaw comes from the factory tuned for 50 to 1, and you put, say, 45 to 1, what I'm doing, what it actually does is you've got a little bit more oil, which makes the fuel thicker, which means that when it goes through your carburetor, it's actually going to be running leaner. So if you put 45 to 1 in your, or 40 to 1 in a chainsaw that's tuned from the factory for 50 to 1, and you're probably thinking, oh, I'm looking after this saw, I'm giving it more oil. Wrong. You're actually leaning it out and doing more damage than good. So what you've got to do is you've got to retune for the oil ratio that you're running. Okay, so I run 45 to 1, which makes the fuel a little bit thicker, a little bit more oil in there, not much, but just enough. So what I do is once I retune my carburetors to that sweet spot at 45 to 1. And if you do that, you're fine. Okay, things you're going to need. It's not just slap it together and slop it together and it's going to be fine. This is the life of your engine. All right, I'm mixing up 5 litres today. 5 litre jug with increments. A little 1 litre jug with fine increments. And a tall and thin accurate measuring cylinder where you can do your oil. Clean them, prep them. Use a bit of straight fuel in them, some rag, give them a clean, keep them clean. I'm not going to start an oil thread, all right? But I like full synthetic, and I found that between a motocross synthetic oil and small engine, chainsaw, whippersnipper sort of oil, there's no difference really. In actual fact, I find that the motocross specific oil is a higher quality than the chainsaw oils, which are like a lot of the time, which are a blend. Anyway, I'm not going to have an oil thread. So I like Motorex full synthetic. So, all right. So you can download oil mixing charts off Google, and it's got all your different ratios on one side, and you've got how much you want to mix on the other side. So I'm mixing 5 litres at 45 to 1. So my target oil capacity is 111 mils, and that will do 45 to 1 at 5 litres. So I've got it pre-marked here in black, which is what I always do. So we fill her up. Now, there we go. Beautiful. So there's 111 mils in there. Now the next thing I do is we're trying to meet the 5 litre mark. You get your fuel and you don't spill it on yourself. Fucking thing. Well, at least my stainless steel bench is going to be nice and clean. How funny was that? I'm trying to do a professional video and I just dropped it. There's always something funny happening in my shed. Alright, let's pull that damn thing off. Now I stink like petrol. That's alright, I'm going to be stinking worse later. Let's get some fuel into it. That was pretty funny, hey? And I'm literally stinking of fuel. But my stainless workbench, I don't think it's ever looked shinier. How good's that? Alright, I don't recommend getting fuel onto yourself. Now I take it up to about, oh, hurry up. Did you see that? How funny was that? I take it up to about 4,500. And then I put some fuel in the small jug like that. You know what? I was actually going to stop the camera then. And I was thinking, I'll stop the camera, I'll redo this. But you know what? Nah, I want you to see that because I'm just a normal bloke and shit like that happens to me as well, you know. So it's not just you guys. Okay, so there's our 111. Tip her into the fuel. You tip it in now. You don't put 5 litres of fuel then tip it in. Because the target is 5 litres of mixed fuel, not 5 litres of straight fuel plus the oil. So once we've done that, this is where this comes into play. Put a little bit of your fuel in there. Some of these, my little jug comes with a cap. Tip him up like that. Into there, and now we've got all the oil out of that. We can put that far away. Now, with the rest of this straight fuel, we're going to make up our target capacity, which is 5 litres. We'll let that settle for a bit. I just think we need to come up just to, oh no, that's beautiful. That's because you've always got that little bit of surface tension. And if you don't know what surface tension is, just Google it because I'm not going to try and explain it because I'm too hungover and I'm soaking wet with petrol. Okay, so we've met our target. Then we just get, I use a straight ruler, just a steel ruler, mix it in, give it a good stir. And the way, doing it this way, we don't have any unmixed oil sitting at the bottom of the jug. We don't have any missed oil that's left in the measuring cylinder. We've hit our target. This little bit of extra here, you can pour it on yourself if you want to, or tip it back into your 20 litre container or whatever you keep your fuel in, and go from there. So that's how I do it. Not all the time, but most of the time I do it like that and not get petrol on me. This one particular time you guys seen me screw up and it was funny. Alright, so there we go. So now when you go to pour it into your container, hence this fella here, there's a couple of ways of doing it. I mean, obviously your funnel, some people put a funnel with a filter in it there and that stops anything from going in. The way I like to do it, everything's cleaned and spotless first, so once it goes in there, it's absolutely spotless. And I'm looking in there now, you guys can't see it, but there is absolutely no little film of dirt or anything in the bottom of my fuel container because I keep it spotless before it goes in. Stay cool, guys. I'm going to go and change the shirt because I stink of petrol. See you later.